Decorating Fanatic here. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Well, as you can see, it is a beautiful day. It's already hot in Florida, so I thought I'd get out here first thing this morning because I woke up a little late, and normally by 8 o'clock I'm usually doing my 30-minute walk, but instead I didn't get up till around 9 o'clock, so I said, you know what, if I'm not going to walk this morning, I'm definitely going to come out here and mow my grass and share with you guys how satisfying it is that I just love it when I have a manicured yard and everything's cut, everything's trimmed. And then I want to share with you some of my favorite trees that I have throughout my yard that I absolutely love. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be edging, I'm going to be mowing, and I'm going to be blowing everything off and sharing with you guys how awesome my yard looks after it's all done. So let's get started. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have enough strings, because I'm going to use this and go around all my bricks over here around my palm trees and do a little edging. So anyways, I want to get my string out a little bit further, give it a nice cut. And then all you have to do is, super simple, prime the little button where the gas is. And then I push this down here. I'm going to pull this a couple times. Well guys, starting to get hot out here, but anyways, getting ready to start the front yard. Gonna edge, and I'm going to mow the front, and I'll do a little tree trimming, and then I'm going to share with you guys what the end results look like. Well guys, I have my trimmers out. So anyways, I'm going to cut some of the branches on this Robolani. I absolutely love this. This is probably the second one I've planted since I've lived here, and I've lived here for around 23 years. So some of this stuff is pretty old stuff that we planted when we first moved in. So I'll share with you guys some of the plants that are in my yard that held up really, really well for 23 years. So let me get cutting some of these, and I'll share with you guys what the yard looks like when it's all done.
I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me break it. You're sweet. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want, so keep us awake till the dawn. Ooh, baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. I got you wrapped around my finger, but don't you try to call me tomorrow. Just watch me break it. You're sweet. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want, so keep us awake till the dawn.
Well, I gotta get the grass off me before I go in the house. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you around my yard and show you some of my favorite plants that I love, and also some of my crepe myrtle trees that have bloomed and some that are starting to bloom. So let me get this grass off, and it is getting hot in Florida, and then every afternoon during the summer months, the rain comes. So it's good to get an early start on your yard work, and then you can sit back and enjoy the rest of your day and watch the rain come in. Well, I wanted to give you an overview of what my side yard looks like. Now, when we moved in here 23 years ago, this is one of the first things we did for our landscaping in our yard. We added these queen palm trees, and they've been doing pretty well. They're not real tall. This one over here seems to be a little stunted, so it stays a little smaller, but that's great because then I have the different heights in the yard. And then I added some bricks around the palm trees. And years ago, I used to put flowers out here, constantly doing flower beds. And at Christmas time, I put poinsettias, and it would look so beautiful. And now I've kind of let it go, but I have a couple little elephant ears that popped up. And another thing is, what I love about elephant ears, you can plant these, and in the wintertime, they go dormant, they kind of fade away, you don't see them. And as soon as the summer gets here in the spring and it warms up, they pop up out of the ground. So I think this is a great addition to any yard because it's maintenance free. So I'm thinking about getting some more of these little elephant ears and planting them around the bricks on these other two palm trees here. That will make it look a lot nicer. But this is my side yard, and then when we moved in, we added this viburnum hedgerow. Now, of course, they were real small when we first started these, and now they're getting to the point where they're just outgrowing themselves, And one of these days, I'm gonna have to come to terms. I'm gonna have to cut this thing all the way down. It's gonna look really bare. It's gonna look awful. And my husband just doesn't want to do it. He says, just leave it alone. But there's a lot of bare spots. And again, things don't last forever. But I think if I trim this and just cut it way back, and it will get some new growth, and maybe it'll start to thicken back up and you won't be able to see through it. I do have my neighbors on the other side. So these viburnum hedges make a great privacy. Another one of my favorites that's in my yard is this crepe myrtle tree. Now this has some really dark, they call these purple leaves. I think they call this a black diamond crepe myrtle because the leaves on it are a lot darker than the other ones that I have in my yard. So this one is got different leaves on it, like I said, and it's got this bright fuchsia color, which I absolutely love. Now I planted this here years ago and it stayed so small for so long, and then all of a sudden it started to really start to grow, and then wouldn't you know it, I think my trash people that came to pick up my garbage, their trucks are so huge, they busted off like 2 huge branches. Just as it was starting to really fill out and be a nice tree, they knock off 2 big branches. So anyways, I was gonna replace it, but I thought, let me look and see what it's gonna look like as it starts to fill out and new growth comes on. So anyways, this is what it looks like, and I just love the crepe myrtle trees. And then I'll show you another one, and I'll give you a little background about how these trees grow in Florida. Well, I'm standing here towards the end of my driveway, and we live over here in a cul-de-sac, which makes it really nice living on a dead-end street. And what I'll do is I'll go in the back and show you what my backyard is like, because as you can see, I got all these cars in the driveway. My hedge is right here. It's in between the 2 houses, and I don't have my neighbor that's real close to me. Their house is way over here, so that makes it really nice. And then I do have the privacy of my hedgerow right here. And then coming up to my house, I recently did just a few little things in the yard, because over the years, again, we've been here for 23 years, and your plants are not going to last 23 years out, 23 years, you know, without dying or needing a little maintenance and, you know, replacing a few things here and there. But I do want to share with you these hedges here that I have. Now I have had these for 20 years. These are called loropetrums. And what I love about these, as you can see, they have these little pink flowers that bloom in the spring and summer. And yes, there's a little maintenance with these because they grow and you need to trim them. Now these, you can make this into a tree. You can make this any height that you want, but I like the height that I have here coming up on my sidewalk to my front door. And again, these are called loropetrums. And what I like also about these, in October, the leaves turn orange, and it makes it just so pretty when Halloween comes. And then my leaves on the tree here are orange. And then this is my huge crepe myrtle tree that I absolutely love. Every year when I cut this back, I cut it all the way down to where, if you can see the sticks down there, I don't know if there's a glare, but anyways, the sticks right there, the trunk of the tree, I will trim them all the way back, because after the summertime and we get into our fall season, the leaves will start to turn and they will drop off the tree. So you can wait a couple months and then you can trim them way back. I always suggest trimming the crepe myrtle trees. They just come out so much nicer. They come out nice and full. And every year my husband's like, you killed the tree, you ruined it. And I'm like, now look, come out here and look how beautiful my tree turned out. And it's got lavender flowers that are starting to bloom on it. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Now the crepe myrtle trees you can get in different sizes. This one, I just love the size of this in the front of my house here. So let's go over to some of my landscaping over here on the side. These are called robolinis, the 3 palm trees. They are connected, so it came as one tree, but there's 3 branches on them. And of course, you just trim up the limbs when they start to hang a little bit or turn brown. And then, I don't know what the name of these hedges are. I can't think of it. They're different than viburnums because they are more, I don't know what to say. They'll pick you. Like, I don't know. There's not really thorns on them. They're just sometimes the new growth on them. Not the new growth, but the old growth has, I don't know. They just got little things on their leaves that poke you. The new growth is real shiny and real soft. But again, this makes a great hedgerow because I've had this, again, probably for 20-something years. When we first moved in, we had somebody come and put in these hedges for us. And they've done really well over the years. So, you know, stuff that lasts a long time, that's really good. Now, I just recently planted these. These are called Lily of the Nile. And I like these because they have the purple flowers on them. I think they're really pretty. Somebody says these multiply. You will get, you know, they'll just start multiplying. But anyways, this one here cost me a lot. It was $14 for the big one. I thought, well, let me splurge, get a big one that has some flowers on it. But then I did do the smaller ones around my landscaping here. And these don't have the flowers yet, but they should be blooming here this summer. So I'm hoping they'll start to get some flowers on them. But I've seen some that are huge and absolutely beautiful. And then these are not boxwood. I cannot think of the name of these little shrubs here. I knew what they were the other day. I said what they were, and now I can't remember. These look okay. These have been in the ground for quite a while, and then I replaced some of them because some of them were dead, and that's where these came in because I had a bunch of those type of little shrubs here, and they died, so I ripped them out. But even when they're brand new, you see how sticky they get. They're not got a lot of leaves, they're not real full, and they're not making a real thick hedgerow. So I'm not that crazy about them, but what I did is I transplanted these around my tree here and thought I, you know, wouldn't get rid of them, but I try to, you know, incorporate them into my landscaping, so I did. And then I don't know what the name of this is. I just tried to use this little thing, this hedge here, to fill in. I did have some flowers around it, but they died and I just pulled them out and tried to do a little something different here. But this stuff here grows really fast, and again, when they start to get the new growth on them, all you have to do is cut them back. It's no big deal to get out some scissors. Hey, I've come out here with some scissors before and used them and trimmed my bushes. And then these little shrubs that I put around my bird bath here. So let me take you over in the backyard and show you some of my crepe myrtles. Okay, as I head towards my backyard, you can see there's a pond back there. And this is what my backyard looks like. I have another crepe myrtle tree right here that hasn't bloomed, but if you can see, these are all little seeds getting ready to bloom. Tons and tons of flowers. This is absolutely beautiful. I love my crepe myrtles. I love this time of year with all the new blooms that are going to come out. And then wouldn't you know it, one of them, a little seed or something, fell on the ground and started to grow a crepe myrtle tree. So I just left it there, and guess what? Look, it's growing. Because I thought, you know what, I could use another tree next to this little box. This was my water softener little box that is hiding my water softener under there. Haven't used the water softener in forever. I probably should start using it, but I haven't. And then of course, these are some more viburnums. I absolutely love viburnums. They just make your house look so nicely landscaped when they're trimmed. Now, I usually have my lawn people come out and trim my hedges in the back here because they do a really nice job. And then here are my crepe myrtles in this pretty pink color. They're absolutely beautiful. I just love them. They can get bugs on them and eat your leaves. So far, I haven't seen any bugs on the leaves yet. But look how beautiful the flowers are and the blooms. And this should stay bloomed pretty much throughout the whole summer here in Florida. And then these over here are some more bushes, I guess you could call them bushes, that I trim and make into a hedge, you know, make a circular around my tree here. And they get a purple flower on them. And again, I can't think of the name of these, but these will overtake your yard. They will grow in the grass. They will just start sprouting up all over the place. But you usually have to come out here and trim them. They will grow really fast, especially with the rain and the sun in Florida. Here's another one of my crepe myrtle trees. Absolutely beautiful. And then here is my pond out here, which I absolutely love the view. Once you live back up to some property or a pond or some kind of water or lake or something, you'll never want to have a backdoor neighbor. This was my very first house that we built, that we moved into. So I haven't had any backyard neighbors. So I couldn't imagine having somebody right behind me. I mean, I just love my backyard here. It is absolutely huge. And anyways, well, I got the yard done, and backyard here, I don't cut this anymore. It's too much for me to do during the summer months, so I did hire somebody. So I think I've had them for over 10 years, but I do love to maintain my front yard. So anyways, I'm going to end the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and got some motivation, and I'll see you in my next video.